All right, so yesterday we learned how to solve these systems of equations by hand by taking the first equation, putting it over the second equation, and then the first equation over the third equation. But today, we're going to do something a little bit different. Okay, we already know the answer to this equation, right? Everybody, what was the answer? X equaled -1. What did y equal? 3. And z equaled -1. So we know the answers. Now, as an ordered triple, that would be -1, comma 3, comma -1. So if I have you guys do a fill-in-the-blank type quiz, does everybody understand this is how I would want you guys to type in an ordered triple? And I'll just label it once again for those of you who are like, what is he talking about? It's an ordered triple. There we go. Now, yesterday we started this conversation about what's known as a matrix. All right? So a matrix is defined by its rows by columns. All right? We'll put rows by columns. Now, if you row your boat, right, that's going to go horizontally, whereas columns are always what? Vertical. All right? So I want you guys to understand how many rows of equations do we have? How many rows? 3. So we're going to build a matrix that's 3 rows by, and how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 columns. Now it's going to be important when you build this, and go ahead if you would, in your journal. We're going to build this in your journal. Okay? You already have this system of equations in your journal, so we're just going to put it next to it, okay? So I want you to put, this is your x column, this is your y column, this is your z column, and this is the column for your constants at the end, okay? So we're going to build a matrix out of your x's. I'll move this over here to the side. All right, x's. So right here, you guys see we have a 2, a 1, and a 3, so I'm just going to put a 2, a 1, and a 3. Here we've got a 1, a -1, and a -2. So I'm going to put 1, -1, -2. And here we have a 3, a -1, and a 3. So I'm going to put 3, -1, 3. And here we've got, this one's the easiest. We've got -2, -3, -12. -2, -3, -12. All right? Now, do you have to build it by doing your call? No, you could just go across. If you want to do 2, 1, 3, -2, and just write it that way, and then do 1, -1, -1, -3, write it, that's fine. However you want to organize it, just make sure you organize it correctly. If you don't organize it correctly, you will not get the correct answer. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you guys how to build this matrix into your graphing calculator. So go to your graphing calculators. Okay? Nice, very nice. Now, does everybody see the little blue word matrix above x to the power of -1? You're going to hit second x to the power of -1, but we need to go over to the right where it says edit. So I got to move over to the right where it says edit. I got to press enter. And we have to make it a 3 by 4. Now, what happens if you mess up and you think it's a 4 by 3? Look what happens. Do you see how it gives you 4 rows and 3 columns? So it helps you kind of correct yourself. Wait a second, that's not a 4 by 3. I was supposed to build something else. What are you supposed to build? 3 by 4. Oh, there. Now it's a lot better. So help me out. It's kind of help me remember. We got a 2, a 1, a 3, and a -2. So I got that one. Okay, so 2, 1, 3, -2. And what's our second row? 1, -1, -1, -3, okay. And then the last row. 3, -2, 3, -12, okay. Very important that we make sure everything's matched up, okay? So right now we have this matrix. Now in our calculator, it's known as matrix A. So matrix A is this matrix, all right? So make sure I'm just going to take a quick little screenshot of that so we have it. So anytime I see matrix A, now it's that matrix until I edit it again. All right, here we go. Step number 2. Hit second mode, get back to the screen. Make sure you're on this blank screen right here. And you can always, that's how you do it. You quit. Second mode gets you back there. Now we need to get back to the matrix area. So we hit second matrix, but this time I want you to go to the right where it says math. And there's a whole bunch of stuff here. We're not going to go over all the stuff, all right? DET stands for determinant. We're not going to find the determinant or anything like that. We're just going to go all the way down. Just keep going down, okay? And I want you to go to B, where it says RREF, okay? We press Enter. Now, what I want you guys to do in your journal right now is I want you to write RREF, and I'm going to define what that is, okay? So what RREF is reduced row echelon. It's supposed to be an E form. Reduced row echelon form. Now, reduced row echelon form will give you a matrix, and this is what it will look like, okay? If and only if the matrix or the system of three variables has a solution, you will notice that there will be a diagonal of ones, okay? So if we were to use reduced row echelon form and do it by hand, we'd have to get the x equal to 1, the y column equal to 1, and the z column equal to 1 down here, and then these would be our answers, okay? So our answer is going to be x, comma, y, comma, z, whatever x, y, and z are. So check this out. We are going to find what's called the reduced row echelon form of what matrix? Of matrix A. So how do we get matrix A? You hit second, matrix again, and you actually have to select number 1, which is matrix A. So I select it, I close the parentheses, and then I press Enter. I want you guys to take a look at this. Remember how we just talked about how we have 1, 1, and a 1, and you got x, y, and z? Do we have a 1, a 1, and a 1? Diagonally. Yes. What was our answer after we worked it all out by hand? It was what? -1, 3, and a -1. Now, what I'm hoping is that you guys will be very happy, like, oh my gosh, all that work that we did by hand, if I know how to do reduced row echelon form, and I have my technology, I can check my answers. You know, if you are allowed to use a calculator, now you know how to use the calculator to find it. Okay? Now, would you guys agree that on number 2, we had infinite solutions, and on number 3, we had no solutions? So what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how to build the matrix. Okay? And then I want you to see what the answers look like when it's no solution or infinite solutions. So build the matrix just on your paper, if you would please. Just build the matrix on your paper. So this one becomes 3, -5, 2, -12. Here we've got 1, 4, -2, 8. And last but not least, we have -3, 5, -2, 12. So those are the numbers that I would like you to type into the matrix now, okay? Because I want you guys to see what the answer looks like, because we already know what's the answer, everybody. We figured this out yesterday. Yeah, we know that this is what? Infinite solutions, correct? So what would it look like over here? It's not going to let you know, hey, it's infinite, you know, like in the calculator. You have to be able to interpret what the matrix does, okay? Let's go to our matrix. I'm going to hit second matrix, go to the right where it says edit. And what do I have to do now? I got to change my numbers. So what numbers now? 3, -5, 2, -12. 3, -5, 2, -12. All right, and then I look at my second row. 1, 4, -2, 8. 1, 4, -2, 8. Go to my third row. -3, 5, -2, 12. -3, 5. Is it -2, 12? Let me make sure. -3, 5, -2, 12. All right, there we go. So now I had that all typed in. Okay? All right, so now that I have this typed in, we hit second mode. But here's the good news. This was the reduced row echelon form of our last problem, but we just edited matrix A. So all I got to do is just scroll up and grab this guy, and I'm going to do it again, and we get a new answer. Now, this is something I need you guys to pay very close attention to. Do you see how this one had 1, 1, 1, and these end up being our answers? This is not a 1, 1, and a 1. It's a 1, 1, and actually it's a 0, okay? But what do we have? 0, 0, 0, 0. Here's what I need you guys to understand. If that whole section right here is 0, everything zeroes out. Remember how we did it by hand and everything zeroed out? That means your answer is going to be infinite. So I need you guys in your journal somewhere, if you get a 1, 1, and a 0, and you get another 0, like everything is just 0 here, that's going to be your infinite solutions. That lets you know in the matrix it's going to be infinite solutions. All right, so the next part. The next part deals with not infinite solutions, but what? Right, because everybody remember number 3 was no solutions? Okay, so number 3, when we worked it out, everything canceled out, and things worked out to be no solutions. We're going to build the matrix first. All right, so what's going to be my first row? What do you guys think? 1, -1, 3, and a 3. What's my second row going to be? -2, 2, -6, 6. And the third row, oh, do you guys see any X's there? Oh, so guess what you got to do? Got to place a 0. Remember, this is your X column, this is your Y column, this is your Z column, and these represent your what? Your constants that those are equal to. All right? So if it's equal to a constant, these are the constants. So we got 0 X's, we've got 1 Y, we've got -5 Z's, and we have, it's equal to a what? -3. So those are the numbers that we have to use in our new matrix, okay? So let's go ahead and let's edit our matrix now. So I hit second, matrix. I go to the right where it says edit. I press enter. It's still a 3 by 4, but now all I'm doing is going back and I'm to a 1, -1, 3, 3. So I'm just going to go 1, -1, 3, 3. Okay? Our second row is -2, 2, -6, 6. So our second row is it -2? Then 2? And then what? -6, then 6. Okay, -6, then 6. All right? And then our third row, we actually had 0 X's. We actually had to type in a 0. Do we still have 1 Y? And then, was it -5 Z's? And then -3? Okay. So there we go. So check this out. So we know our answer is no solutions because we did this yesterday. Okay? So we know it's going to be no solutions. But check out what happens when we evaluate it using reduced row echelon form. Remember, we just changed our matrix. This matrix A is now different than this matrix A. Because we edited it. So check this out. Do you see how you guys have a 1, 1, and what do you have? 1, 1, and a 0. But look. Is 0 equal to 1? No. So here, see how right here we got a 0 and a 1? So guess what? If you don't have a whole bunch of zeros in that bottom row, what does this bottom row let you know? That lets you know it's no solutions. Okay? So I want you guys to know how to edit. And I want you to know how to solve using reduced row echelon form, but I also want you to know how to interpret your answer. All right? I don't want you guys putting answers as 0, 0, and a 1. All right? Sometimes the solution could be technically 0, 0, and a 1, but you have to have what? A row diagonally, sorry, not a row, a diagonal of 1s that look like, let me go back, that look like this. Okay? That's what they're supposed to look like. Okay? And this is what it looks like right now. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video real quick. I'm going to take this time real quick to identify different things. I want you to understand that matrices are always rows by columns, okay? So if I said, for example, watch this. If I said, what number is in row 2 by column 3? Row 2, column 3. What number is in row 2 and column 3? Row 2, column 3. What number would you say? 0. All right? So a lot of times you'll see R2, C3, stuff like that. Okay? So that number is what's called row 2 and column 3, which is right there. All right? So be aware of how to locate stuff in a matrix. Now let's go to our word problems, okay? Let's go to our word problems. Looks like Taylor's training for a triathlon. Now, how many components does a triathlon have? 3. Running, swimming, and biking. Can you guys put running, swimming, and biking? You do not have to do this in your journal. You can just put this on your paper, okay? Running, swimming, biking. I want to call running X. I want to call swimming Y and biking Z. All right? Running, swimming, biking. So right now, it says Taylor is training. In her training routine each week, she runs 7 times as far as she swims. All right? So she runs 7 times as far as she swims. So she runs. How much she runs is equal to 7 times as far as she swims. Here's one equation. So by the way, just so you know what x equals miles in running, okay? Running miles. Y equals swimming miles. Z equals biking miles, okay? So in case you're wondering what x, y, and z are. All right, let's look at the next one. And let's see here. She bikes 3 times as far as she runs. Well, what letter are we using for biking? Z. So she bikes 3 times as far as she runs. So we got Z equals what? 3 times whatever she runs, right? 3x. And then last it says what? 1 week she trained a total of 232 miles. So what does that mean? That means the running plus the swimming plus the biking. What did that all equal? 232 miles. How far did she what? Run. All right. Which is x. Very good. So looks like we're going to be what? Eventually we're finding what? X. Now, let's check this out now. If we have x, and by the way, what is x equal to? Yeah, so x is equal to 7y, right? 7y plus her swimming, which is what? Y plus her biking. Well, what's her biking equal to? 3x. And what's that all equal to? 200 and what? Man, wouldn't it be much easier? Wouldn't it be if we could just get everything in terms of not x, but we could if we could find what y is, we could just take it and what? Plug it in. But wait a second. What is x technically equal to? 7y. Okay, hold on. So if x is equal to 7y, then what's this x equal to? Parentheses, and what am I going to plug in right there for x? 7y. So actually, what is z also equal to? Z is equal to 3x, but z could also equal 21y. Let's erase it. Let's say, you know what? Let's replace it with what? 21y. y. Now, how many y's do we have? A total of 28 plus one more is a total of 29 y's. Oh, this is looking good. Then we can divide both sides by 29, and y equals whatever 232 divided by 29 is. 8. Awesome. Now what does that mean? Y equals 8, which means her what? Her swimming is what? 8. But wait a second. What is x equal to? 7 times, which is 56. And then if we plug in an 8 right there, 21 times 8, 168. And all those add up to what? 232. Now, as an ordered triple, this is what you would write as an ordered triple, okay? I know it didn't ask us for the ordered triple, okay? However, it only asks us for how far she what? How far she ran. So it says, how far did she run that week? And so the answer, like if this was a fill in the blanker, you would type in what? 56. If it was just a fill in the blank type question, it's 56. You're like, Miss, we did not do a matrix at all with this. We did everything by hand. But I want to show you how you could put it into a matrix. So everybody, right now, could you please, in your journal, you don't have to write all the words, okay? But I want you guys to write down this. X equals 7y, okay? And then what else? Hold on. X equals 7y. Z equals 3x, okay? So put Z equals 3x. And then x plus y plus z equals 232. These are our 3 equations that I want you to write down. All right? And we need to teach you guys how to do what? Build a matrix based off of these. Now, let me explain to you how this works, everybody. This is only going to work if we do it correctly. If you do it incorrectly, you will get it wrong. We have to make a column of x's, a column of y's, a column of z's, and remember, it's got to equal, this has got to equal whatever our constant is. All right, when we're building it, you're not going to use an equal sign in the matrix. I just want to make sure you guys understand. There's got to be an equal, all right? So of these equations, which is the only one that's already set up perfectly, ready to go, like ready to plug in? Right. So on this one, you could, listen up, you could just put a 1 and a 1 and a 1, and you could put what? 232. So 1, 1, 1, 232. That one's good to go. This is not. There's an equal sign. Well, if x is equal to 7y, if I take away 7y and I take away 7y, here's what we're left with. X minus 7y equals 0. It is now set up to be utilized within the matrix. And what did I do to both sides, in case you're wondering? I took away a 7y and I took away a 7y and I set it equal to 0. How would I write this one in the matrix? How many x's do I have? 1. How many y's? -7. How many z's? 0. And what's it equal to? 0. On this one down here, what would I have to take away? I'd have to take away a 3x and I'd have to take away a 3x. So what would that leave me with? Z minus 3x equals 0. But I got to move all the x's up front. So that'd be what? -3x plus z equals 0. So now I have everything lined up the way it should be. So how many x's would I have? -3. How many y's? 0. How many z's? 1. And how many constants? 0. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video because I got to talk to my class. All right, so if we did this right, if we type this, if we plug all these in correctly, we should still get the same answer. So let's go ahead and test it out, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and clear, oh, didn't mean to clear all that. Oh, well. I'm going to hit second matrix. I'm going to go over here to where it says edit. Press edit. It's still a 3x4, but now it's going to be a 1, a 1, and a 1, and that's all equal to 232, which means the running plus the swimming plus the biking is 232. And let's look at the other one. It said what? 1, -700. So I got to type in a 1, -7, 0, 0. Now, some of you might be thinking, does it really matter which row I put? No, technically, I could have put this one in the bottom row, and it would have been just fine. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, I had to pause the video. Boss was walking in. Let's see here. What's our last row? Help me out, guys. Come on. -3. Okay. So we got -3, 0, 1, 0. Okay. So there we go. So we have to type it in perfectly. Now, I'm going to hit second mode, get back to the screen. I'm going to scroll back up, because even though I cleared it, I know I can find that reduced row echelon form, because I haven't cleared all the memory. And I press enter. Yes! I'm so excited. Why am I excited, everybody? Because what? A 1, 1, 1. Boom! Hey, what did we say the answers were to begin with? 56, 8, 168. We did it all by hand, but that was your X, that was your Y, that was your Z. I want you guys to understand this will only work. This will only work if you know actually how to do one thing. You have to know how. I'm going to highlight it in this beautiful green. You have to know how to build a matrix with your systems of equations. If you do not know how to build a matrix with your systems of equations, it will not help you. But would you guys agree this is so much faster than doing it by hand? Okay? But what do you got to be able to do? Build a matrix. X's go with X's. Y's go with Y's. Z's go with Z's. Everybody got that? All right. Well, have a great time solving systems of 3 variables. Good luck.